Hey folks, welcome to Buzzards Roost. My name is Jimmy James Hamlin. I'm going to answer some questions about our whiskeys here. So what we do here is we focus on the barrel. Most of the flavor of whiskey comes from the barrel, so that's our focus. We use barrel technology, barrel science. We work heavily with Independent State Company, that's the biggest cooperage in the world, and we follow a lot of their advice on how to increase the flavor profiles of these barrels. We're going to season our wood longer than most people. Most people do 6 to 9 months. We season our wood for a full 18 months. That increases the flavor profile of the barrel by about 30%. And then we are going to toast our barrels before we char them. We have 17 proprietary barrels, and every one of them is toasted. So if you think of the barrel as a marshmallow, think of the marshmallow above the fire as toasting, and the marshmallow in the fire as charring. So by toasting first, we're going to pull more wood sugars to the surface of that oak, and we're going to create a thicker red layer. The red layer is the caramelized wood sugar, and that is where most of the flavor of the whiskey comes from. That's why historically, when we were charring these barrels, we were using heavy numbers like 3s and 4s. You hear that a lot. What we were doing was caramelizing as much wood sugar as we could on the surface of the barrel. We didn't know that's why we were doing it, but that's the results of it that kept us doing those heavy chars. But the science tells us by toasting the barrel first, we're going to increase the level of the red layer and increase the flavor profile by 150% out of that barrel. Now we're going to toast our barrels anywhere between 40 and 60 minutes. And by doing that toast range, we kind of dial in the wood sugar influences. It kind of goes sweet, spicy, smoky in that range. Some of our barrels stop at toasting, and we're going to double oak our whiskey in just toasted barrels. I have a toasted American oak bourbon, recently won the best bourbon with barley corn, and I have a toasted barrel rye. Both of these whiskeys did their secondary maturation in just toasted barrels. Now I have 17 proprietary barrels, I use them all. So each one of my recipes will have 3 to 5 barrels involved in that secondary maturation or double oaking process. The toasted barrel rye won a 2022 double gold at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition. Most of my barrels, though, will be charred. So after the toasting process in that 40 to 60 minutes, we're going to put a char 1 on top of these barrels. We don't want to burn all that wood sugar off. We spent 40 to 60 minutes developing, and we don't have to go through char 4 to get to the red layer to get all that flavor. We only have to go through char 1. So I have a char 1 bourbon and a char 1 rye. Both of these whiskeys did their secondary maturation in 3 to 5 barrels, toasted in that 40 to 60 minute range, and has that char 1 on top of it. 3 to 18 months in that secondary maturation, and then I'll need all 3 to 5 of those barrels to make that recipe. So I have my char 1 bourbon, char 1 rye, 2023 double gold winner at San Francisco World Spirits Competition, and recently won the best American rye whiskey in the world in the IWC competitions. I also have a barrel strength bourbon and a barrel strength rye. Similar to the char 1s, these did their secondary maturation in 3 to 5 toasted barrels in that 40 to 60 minute range with the char 1 on top of them. These, however, are at barrel strength. So my minimum is 105 proof. Barrel strength usually runs between 112 and I've seen it as high as 118 proof. I do have some limited time offerings as well. I have a bottled and bond, I have a cigar rye, and a smoked barrel rye. The bottled and bond obviously is at 100 proof, so that is the lowest proof I put out, but usually I'm a pretty high proof brand with 105 minimum. Please don't hesitate to reach out, ask any other questions, anything else we can help you. Any way we can support you, please let us know. You will have access to our Google Drive as well, where you can get access to the sales sheets, different presentations like this. Thank you very much for your time. I look forward to working with you, and I thank you in advance for all the hard work you do.